Hey everyone, how's it going? Welcome back to the video. I have now changed my mic up just a tad bit, so hopefully this sounds okay. Go ahead and leave a like, comment, and subscribe, please. I hope y'all are enjoying these crypto videos that I am producing for y'all. I do plan on releasing videos hopefully every single day. I would really like to grow this channel. So let's jump into Market Cipher here. Looking at the 15-minute right now, and we'll work our way up. The markets are kind of at a decision point right now to see that if we do go below 8,000 or if we can hold our support here and consolidate to see some major moves probably to the upside by the end of this month. So what I'm really relying on are these support lines here at 8,000 and 7,900 to hold, and we hopefully will consolidate all the way until the end of November. What I'm keeping an eye on is that if we do start consolidating to the end of November, to see a break probably within the next couple of days, maybe by the end of November the 21st possibly. So just keeping an eye on the markets until then. So we're gonna jump into some higher time frames and talk about it a little bit. So 45-minute, we do have some consolidation down here, looking like we did put in some lower lows on Cipher B, which is okay, but we have started to consolidate to the other side, so that could have been a turning point for us here. And let me go ahead and turn on Cipher A really quick. I don't know why I had it off. Let me find it real quick. So if we turn on Cipher A, we can see, and then also I want to turn on my sell indicators and long indicators here. So so looking at the 45-minute, this is one that I was kind of keeping my eye on because it was bottoming out last night and was kind of waiting on it, but as you can see, we're putting in some bullish divergences here on Cipher B. We are building up these longs down here on our indicators as well, which is a very bullish sign, and not very many shorts are being put in, so that honestly makes me feel like we're trying to find a point to for the markets to change direction. Let's look at the 1 hour here. More bullish divergence on Cipher B as well, even included in the money flow and the VWAP here. So honestly, I feel like this could be some movage to the upside. We could have another fake out and have a yellow X hit on our Cipher A, which is indication that they do want to push this a little bit lower, or the powers that be. Yellow X is indicating manipulation, and so those do correlate with some of the moves on Cipher B as well, how these Cipher A signals form. So we'll jump into 2 hour. So this is something I've been noticing since last night, is that we've had 10x longs put in on our indicators here, and we really don't have too many 10x longs being put in on our indicators very often here in this downtrend that we were in. So the fact that we got three 10x longs put in on our 2 hour here, it's another bullish sign. Our 2 hour buy signal just hit as well. It's starting to signal kind of an uptrend happening here. Let's jump higher into the 4 hour. Let's go into the 4 hour. We don't have our buy signal that hit yet. Let's see at the 3 hour if we have a buy signal yet. Not yet. So we're gonna have to wait that and to see if we have some buy signals hit on the 4 hour eventually. But if these are the time frames that I'm really considering right now, because there is a lot of sell-off pressure on these mid time frames, and you can tell by looking at Cipher B that we have these bigger nebulas forming down here, and with some bullish divergences happening as well. So there's a lot of people that are saying, oh, well, it's gonna get sold off even more, this and that, and honestly, it could, it really could, but I think that we have been selling off quite a bit, and it's with this much sell-off pressure, you know, then it's basically just looking at like the chart upside down is like, well, if we make a really high run up, you know, then we're gonna go the other way. So with this much sell pressure in order, I feel that we will have some movage to the upside eventually. So as you can see here, we had our shorts up here, signals indicators being put in up here, but now we have long indicators being put in. So we're just backtracking just a little bit to see what happened before our last 30% pump. So okay, let's move on into the 6 hour. We still are trending below this 200 daily moving average, which is okay, but I think that we will get back up above it eventually, which will indicate that we are going into our next parabolic run to the high. So it could take a while. It could happen within a day. You know, I mean, like this 30% pump here, I remember just watching that and being like in awe, really, you know, and it was nice. I was sitting in a good trade and took some profit, and it was good. So let's see here. So as you can see, we're getting a lot of longs put in. Down here, 10x longs. So and also I believe the fact that these are so many longs down here, we only had one 5x short, and this is on the 6 hour, indicates that this is very close range to the bottom. So let's go back to 6x. Okay, and as you can see here, we are about to put in some dots. I went through a checklist last night about how many big green dots were being put in on all of our time frames, and literally I can go through my checklist again while I have the video open. But we are getting a lot of big green dots being put in right now. So on the 1 hour, we had 3 green dots being put in, and that's just from this point here to this downtrend. That's kind of what I was measuring. Basically, after our 30% run up, how many big green dots were being put in on each time frame. On the 1 hour, we had 3. On the 2 hour, we had 3. And this is basically forecasting these other big green dots that will be put in eventually on the 6 hour and above, right? Because we haven't put in that third big green dot, but I'm going to go ahead and say that it's going to be a big green dot because it is below the 60% line right here. So so basically all the way until the 1 day, we're having big green dots being put in, roughly 3 or more averagely for these mid time frames. So Bitcoin is bottoming, but I think there is some whales and some of the powers that be that do want to push this price a little bit lower for the weekenders out there, and to shake people out. So let's look at the 8 hour. The 8 hour, we have longs being put in all in this downtrend here. So very, very bullish indeed. So I was going to stack up how many 10x longs we're going to be put in, but as you can see here on the 8 hour, we will put in a third big green dot as well. Let's look at the 10 hour. 10 hour, big 10x long down here on this downwards trend here that we just had. The 10x did call a buy at the very bottom here as well. We do have just a sell signal right now, but that could indicate that this was our fractal sell-off of what we had here, and that this is our more consolidated version of that sell-off right here that we just had all the way down to 8,000. But that bigger drop to 7,200 was a bigger drop. But this could be our fractal pattern playing out to where, you know, we stay here for a few more days and then we rock it up. So let's look at the 12 hour. I'm not trying to whisper, y'all. I don't know how loud my mic is right now, so I don't want to like make y'all go deaf or anything. And so as you can see here, 12 hour 10x long being put in as well. That was another noticeable factor as well. And what I've really been waiting for is the 12 hour buy signal, which we haven't gotten yet. And I honestly think that, well, the 11-hour last signal was a sell, but we had a buy here in the middle of the consolidation area, or this downtrend a little bit. So if we go to the 12-hour, we haven't had any signals in this whole area that we came out of that 30% run up after. So kind of waiting for one of our signals to hit there, but we do have a 10x long, which is very bullish, and this could consolidate out to the end of this wedge pattern here. Like I said, by the 21st or the 22nd, somewhere around there, it's gonna be an interesting move. So just be prepared, stay frosty, like I've been saying. Let's go to the daily, and actually let's go back to that 12-hour. So we did put in a big green dot. It looks like we're about to form a second big green dot there. The 11-hour is about to have 3 big green dots, so another indication that we're bottoming. And the 12-hour also, some very large nebula formations to the low, but also some bullish divergences happening there as well that haven't fully been played out yet. And I think our 8-hour, or it was probably our 4-hour, that had the biggest nebula at the bottom, I believe, right now. So 4-hour and 6-hour, I think. Pretty big nebula happening here. So let's go to the daily. The daily I was looking at because I feel like this is our curvature on Cipher B to let us know that we are rounding at the bottom here. And so as you can see, we have been kind of putting in a little bit of this curvature formation, which I think that will close with another big green dot here, and then it won't be as low as this one, and it'll be somewhere around the same as this one over here, but will indicate that we start to see some more uptrend because of the curvature bottom. So that's something I've really been keeping an eye on. We do have this downward angle playing out here, but honestly, I don't know if that'll play out too much more because it looks like it's kind of dying off just a little bit now, and I think that our bottom angle is what we're gonna have to see more of to that upside movement. But the fact that it was kind of curving, that's another indicator that I will be looking at in the future of when I feel like we have hit a high as well. As you can see, we did that same thing on the 1 day here when we ran up to 13K. We kind of did this like curvature pattern as well, and then we kind of came on down. So that's just something to keep an eye on to know when we've kind of hit some highs or some lows, and we're starting to curve. So let's jump into. So I think that this another thing I was looking at is that this VWAP has a bullish divergence on it as well. It does look like it wants to like kind of curve and then come down a little bit more. But honestly, that'll give us a stronger, bigger green dot too, which could send us to that 7,700 price that I've also been targeting as well. So, you know, if we do go to 7,700, I'm sure a lot of people are going to get really, really bearish, and then we'll have a bigger move take place. So the market sentiment right now, I feel like with crypto Twitter and stuff, is still pretty bearish. People are bearish right now. They're starting to have some hopium a little bit. They're asking for the hopium. So I can see how this is, you know, just kind of mind games being played too as well. So like I said, shaking out the weak hands, getting people to go the wrong direction. But yeah, I hope y'all enjoyed this video. Look forward to a big move pretty soon. I myself believe that we'll see something by the end of this week take place, and once we get that 1 day green dot as well, it's going to be an interesting ride. So just stay ready in case we do go lower. But also, yeah, let me know how y'all are enjoying these market cipher videos. If y'all are interested in trading, I do have a Bybit link down in the description box that y'all can use. It is very risky to leverage trade, but the gains can be worth it sometimes. So just use your do your own due diligence. These markets are pretty wild, so I would almost just recommend people that they hodl, even though there's a lot of people that are against that. I think it's ultimately the safest route in these markets. So yeah, go ahead and leave a comment down below. I hope that y'all are enjoying these videos, and like and subscribe. I'll talk to y'all soon.